I don't. You know what? Just first of all, you should be recording this. Second of all, okay, good. Second of all, just give me a goddamn minute to find the quick time.
Okay, fine.
I'm hot as a hamburger right now, and I just want to get started.
Hamburger sounds great.
All right, I'm hitting the button now. It's fucking recording, okay?
How about you, Dan? Now let's talk Dan.
Hit the button,
How
Frank.
You doing, Dan?
Hang on, I just need to take care of
Oh my
issue
god.
here real quick. Just keep going. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Start the fucking show. I don't care.
I'll move over, Swanson. I'm driving. Hey, Square! My dinghy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the show that has no name because it's on the fly and it's very strange.
Whoa!
Start. I'm done.
Sitting here trying
He just
to
told
fucking
us to
have a
start.
good
Now he's
time.
making sounds while I'm trying to start.
Trying to have a good time. He made this guy's getting fucking fresh. I'm trying to save. Hey, whoa! You prick you. I'm trying to get a new recording going with the quick time here. File.
Yeah, good time for that.
Recording. And it's going. Go ahead.
Welcome back to the, I guess we'll just call this the Ditch Diggers. I don't know. That's our name on Patreon.
COVID-19
We're the producers and
too.
hosts of the Caddyshack Minute, the Blues Brothers Minute, and now whatever this show is. We just figured, hey, everyone's about to die, so why not get together as often as we can during this strange and bizarre time and talk about our experiences, our hopes, our fears, our boredom, our stir craziness, the loves and joys of staring at either your loved ones or the inside of your skull, etc. for the duration or until...
Fuck you!
You know, the electricity... Karloff? Sidekick? I'm Tom Taylor, and I'm here with Mike DeMaria. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, I'm hot as a hamburger right now. I'm ready to pop.
We know.
Okay.
All right, fine.
All right. I'm worked up. I'm angry.
Who wouldn't
I'm tense. And it's not just this. It's the last 4 months of my life, and this is just the shit on the cake right here. This
is just what you needed.
So, all the people in the sound of my voice, don't sneak up on me and try to steal my wallet. All right.
Or touch the back of his neck. Do not touch the back of his neck.
Don't touch any part of my neck, and don't sneak up on me and try to take my wallet, because slowly I'll turn and I'll look, where have you been? I'll say to you, where have you been all my life, sweetheart? And then we'll dance, and it's going to be fucking ugly. All right? So please, I'm begging you, don't fuck with me right now.
I kind of want to try it now. It sounds kind of entertaining. I kind of want to try it now. Sneak up on you and try to mess with you in some way.
No.
All right, I won't.
No.
You know who else won't? Dan Lewis. Welcome, Dan.
Hey.
How's your divvy bike?
Yeah, the bike situation. Not only did I get that worked out, I mean, I dropped it off for them very, very graciously, but then I rented one the next day. So I'm still a customer.
Hey. Are those two docking stations out of order still that you were dealing with the last time?
They are still out of order. I don't know why.
So you had to go elsewhere.
I do not know why.
It's trying times, even for the divvy bikes.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Extremely annoying.
So this is breaking news. It doesn't matter. I can go ahead and say the date since we're trying to be kind of current with these things. It's March the 18th, Wednesday evening. We just received word here in Illinois, or I don't know if it's an Oak Park thing or an Illinois thing, that I think it's an Oak Park thing. That's the town I'm in. That we're in like self-contained mode, whatever that means. Like you're actually not supposed to leave your house except for
as usual
essential.
I think that's what they have in San Francisco. They had that in San Francisco, and it's
shelter in place. That's what we're calling.
Yeah, shelter in place. And once that goes in,
we had it before, and it was never cool.
Okay. Yeah. You had it, never got cool, and now other people are having it.
Never got cool, and
everybody's doing
people are having it. Yes,
why would more people start doing it if it wasn't cool? That's weird.
This is what I'm hot about. This is what I'm really hot about.
Boy,
and
you want to be cool like San Francisco?
No, and I'm not. No, it's not. I fully agree with this. I fully agree that we need to. These are the things. But I'm just reacting to people on Facebook, which I don't go on very much anymore. But I'm just going to read part of this post, and I'm just going to post something myself. That's going to be that's going to be a large swath to these kind of people. Okay. And it says, awesome. The people are waking up as a huge protest is planned for March 28th in Lansing. to protest this tyranny. Damn straight I'll be there. This virus is 99% survival based on mortality rate of entire populations of reported causes. All right? Wake up, people. So in other words,
God damn it!
They're equating the government telling us to stay home for 2 weeks to tyranny. So there's going to be these protests of people going out and protesting the government overstepping its bounds.
Smart.
Okay.
Isn't that like, aren't they in effect saying then that like every government on the country is being tyrannical now? And this, I mean, everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Everybody's there's down across the globe.
Yeah. There's no politics to this because the Republican president is leaning this way too. All right. So this is nothing to do with politics. This is well, part of it does that kind of we talked about this, that very self-centered libertarianism, don't tread on me bullshit, right?
Right.
We're facing something. We're seeing what happens in other countries when the hospitals are overrun with people and they don't have enough ventilators, that healthcare providers have to choose who lives and dies, right?
Do you know what was 99.9999999% survivable was 9/11.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we're looking at
scratch.
If we're looking at the population as a whole,
and there's 300 plus million. Let's round down to 300 million. So if it's 99% survivable, that means we're only going to lose 3 million souls.
Yeah,
that's not that bad.
All right,
3 million people.
It's a fair trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got a few days off from work.
Just worse than any war that we've ever had or anything like that. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Math is great when you only look at about the beginning of the equation and you don't really follow it through to like the sum at the end.
Yeah.
I've seen some arguments like
you don't pick and choose math. You don't pick it. Math is not political. You don't pick and choose and try to piece together your, some sort of a statement out of math. All right.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to get into the whole. I'm not going to get anywhere near "don't tread on me" territory here. But the order for our area was a little bit weird, just because they go that you by order can't get together with anybody, even in small groups, is a little bizarre. Because, I just picked up a case of wine from my friend's shop. He left it out back.
Right.
And then he goes, I'll come out. Let me know when you're going to be there. I'll come out and we'll talk, but we'll just stand away and then talk. Like we'll wave to each other and we'll talk from 8 feet away.
Yeah.
And we chit-chatted for a few minutes. And he's like, let's get together Friday and go to Eddie's backyard and we'll start a fire and then we'll all just sit way far away from each other. We'll have a drink together.
It's like we're being forced to act as though we're in some sort of resistance.
Well, the fact that it's an order and not a guideline is, I think, a little weird. Because how do you enforce it? There's. I've been going on.
They're not going to. They're not going to be able to.
Yeah, it just. I get it though. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's like a slippery slope type situation. It's not like we're going to all be losing our freedoms and whatever. But the order. I'm not the only one who thinks it was a little bit odd that you would word it that way. But it's really not the biggest problem we have right now. So I'm not really
right. I just took that as it's a blanket statement designed to keep people from going to classes and meetings of things and stuff. And if you're trying to get everybody to not meet in a room with a lot of people coughing on each other,
you're absolutely right. Say. When they say it's subject to punishment is where I go, okay, I don't know if that's what we want. The trade-offs don't really work there. That's not really there's a lot of things that we have freedom to do that result in negative impacts for some people.
Right.
It's considered to be a worthwhile trade-off. I think you can flatten the curve, as it were, without maybe saying that we order you to do this. It's I think everybody's on board. Don't just say, hey, look, don't be a jerk. Don't do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of Facebook and flattening the curve, I was really delighted to see that a friend of mine was thinking the same thing I was, that every time he hears the phrase flattening the curve, he thinks of the opening credits of the Dukes of Hazzard.
Why?
Even though the line is straightening the curves, flattening the hills.
Oh, okay. Straightening the curve.
Someday the mountains might get them, but the law never will.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not alone.
Yeah,
and I also pointed out that when I was 10 years old watching that show, it never escaped my notice that line about hills and curves lined up perfectly with the introduction of Daisy Duke in the opening credits.
The curves.
You see her standing there in her red bikini in the middle of the street.
Well, please don't straighten those, though.
No. See that, and I had that thought as a kid. I was like, what exactly are they trying to say? Like that seems odd to me. Like they piqued my interest with talk about curves and hills, but then they're talking about flattening them and straightening them. Where are we going with this?
Whole human race what I used to do? Trouble if you straighten the curves.
You know what I used to do?
What?
So when that what?
Oh boy.
Yeah, it has nothing. It has nothing to do with what you were talking about. Like I told you, I don't discuss that stuff. But what I was saying is, in the
everyone listen to the first episode of Caddyshack Minute, please.
Yeah, okay, but it's that scene in the opening credits where they're running to the car, and one of them, either Bo or Luke, slides across the hood of the car.
Yeah.
And then gets in the passenger side. They're running because obviously I think Roscoe's chasing them or whatever, and they slide across, and he slides across the hood of the car like he's sliding into second base, gets around the other side, and then climbs into the thing. So I tried that as a kid on my dad's car.
Oh God!
But this is like what the early
hit the thing and it made that sound that like basketball players' sneakers do on the court.
Well,
and your ass burned on the 99-degree hood of the car in August.
Well, that's
and Champ Summers.
That's pretty much what. That Champ Summers it was literally around that time, and you're talking like maybe 1980. So this was still in the day of the really short shorts that we would wear. Remember?
Oh God.
With the high tube socks. So I didn't realize that, that this was
the balls you have today would be hanging out the bottom of those shorts.
Right. Okay. But we're keeping this in a realm here. So I didn't realize that, the show was from the show took place in the South, and no men wear shorts in the South. Right. They're wearing their dungarees, as they would call them.
Yeah.
And so I did it and slid across it so skin against the hood of a car. There's no sliding.
Oh,
so you're right. There was that squeak sound.
Damn it! Fuck you!
And then I just rolled, and just stopped immediately, rolled, and then rolled onto the sidewalk and smashed my head against the sidewalk.
Ow!
Oh.
See?
So you're burnt from the flaming hot hood, and you're concussed from hitting the sidewalk.
Yeah. As soon as my legs hit the hood, everything, all momentum just stopped. There was no sliding, and I just rolled off the car, and heard that sound like and fell off. And then it was on the sidewalk. But as I'm running, I'm singing the theme song to myself in the head, just the good old boys, never meaning no harm. And then I just
how cool I look.
Yeah.
That's even in the context of that show, though, like a lot of people did that in the 70s. Starsky and Hutch, I'm sure, did it, but people adore their cars. They love their cars or their whole identity. And then they like flail across the hood in a way that's got to leave some kind of mark, either a dent from your body or like a scratch from the studs in your jeans or something. Like,
right.
It seems like, I don't know.
It's not
how much
like
time are you really gaining by going over the
situation.
hood instead of around it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's all
and
a
I
visual.
couldn't wait to try it myself. But then one day I couldn't wait to get a car and I'll be old enough to drive, and then I could try that. And you know what? I never once got in my car that way.
Yeah. You needed somebody to chase you, maybe.
Yeah.
You needed the impetus.
Right.
Well, the whole point was the doors were welded shut. It was a stock car.
Right.
That was the whole
But that
point.
doesn't mean, whether the door's open or not, you can still go around the hood.
Put a Confederate flag on the roof of the car, and people will chase you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to want to get out of there really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You literally will not have time to go around your car.
Yeah.
Them Dukes.
And a little bumper sticker that says "I break for tyranny."
It was the Dukes. It was the Dukes.
It was the Dukes. You're a dead man, Valentine.
Thank
you, Mr.
You're the Duke. You're the Duke.
Hey, number one.
You're number one.
Bop, bop, bop.
We just ran through a few movies right there.
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard, Trading Places, Escape from New York.
Yeah.
All in one sentence. That was beautiful.
There was no fucking tortillas at the grocery store. Zero. All the tortillas were gone.
Really?
Yeah.
How about regular bread?
No, there was just hot dog buns.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Make a nice grilled cheese and a hot dog bun. I'll
Make
try
a
that.
nice, a long, thin quesadilla with hot dog bun. No. Something wrong with that.
People are going to invent new sandwiches from all this.
A
Just
steak,
out of necessity.
Right.
a steak burrito for 2 for $1 and a hot dog bun.
For Dominic.
The Mexican dip sandwich.
Yeah. You start just make that. Okay, we're onto something now. So let's say, I did hear from somebody
I
that
literally saw the light bulb go on over Mike's head.
So I did hear from somebody that who's a police officer that said that they're kind of maybe, if there is this shelter in place quarantine around the city of Chicago, it might be for 30 days. So if you're staying inside for 30 days, right? And we just stocked our fridge or the pantry full of shit that we usually don't eat on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
In our self-contained meals, and also have stuff that's kind of
fucking thing sucks.
Let's say you get through 2 weeks of that shit, right? Then you see what I'm getting at. You see where I'm going with this? So you got all this fucking food that you bought out of necessity and out of a knee-jerk reaction. You go into the store, you need 6 of these, 7 of those, 4 of those. Okay, you start to lose your mind in your apartment. You do your work here, you walk around in circles like you do, and then you start talking to yourself. You start moving things around. Okay, day 2 weeks in, you start to look at the pantry and you start coming up with some fucked up concoctions, right? Like you said, like a Mexican dip hot dog bun sandwich. What the fuck do you put in it?
Yeah.
Right? So let's start to think about when is it going to come to when your prepared meals start breaking down and you start really just putting stuff together.
A caper and cheese sandwich.
Exactly. See now, you see where I'm going now. You see where I'm going? I
do.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be whole restaurants, whole schools of cuisine that are going to be born out of all this.
And first and second of all,
Corona cuisine. And
second of all, I'm not even fucking eating. Today,
that's right. What do you know about food? You're just drinking coffee from home, and eating a couple almonds.
I keep buying it. I keep throwing it in my freezer, but I'm not touching any of it. Today, I worked from home for the first time, and I realized I don't have any. My diet consists of about 18 to 20 cups of coffee a day, and that handful of almonds. I don't have any fucking coffee in the house.
Oh God!
So because I go to work and
I like the opposite problem most people.
Yeah, I just pound the free coffee they have at work. It's horrifying. It's the worst coffee in the world, but I pound it all day long.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, and I can't go to the McDonald's. They won't let me in. I got to pull around the drive. I got to get in my car. I can't just walk up to the drive-thru. Yeah. So I go to 7-Eleven. I got one coffee.
Buy a bag of beans from McDonald's from the drive-thru?
No, I just went now and I got some beans I got some for the French press. So I'll be okay tomorrow.
Nice.
But today I didn't have my 7 cups. So and I haven't had my almonds yet either. So I'm fucked up right now.
You sound okay, Mike.
No, I don't.
You sound like you're doing just fine.
How many almonds?
You're even keel.
I said anywhere between 4 to 6. I had 1 stick of string cheese. I had that about 11.
Oh,
that's good.
Going nuts.
I was just on conference calls all day. Conference calls, just one after the other.
I just have my fruit and my yogurt until dinner. I have a little bit of frozen fruit that's been sort of melted in some nice full fat yogurt.
That's good.
Then,
nice.
I have a serving of that, and then I have 1 hard cooked egg. That's all I have.
That's all your
dinner. I go bananas. And then today, though, when I went on my hike, big difficult hike, I just started getting real wobbly at the end of it there, and I was like, I was just like, I think this is a food issue, not necessarily the old COVID-19,
yeah.
So, but did I tell you about how I called the doctor about this yesterday?
You did. You mentioned last night you said you had a sore throat.
The doc called me back. No, it was like the chest congestion. It was like that chest pressure.
Oh.
That kind of wheezy.
All right.
Feel something coming.
Wheezy.
But it really never got that bad, wheezy. And and then today when I woke up, I was like, oh, it's a little bit better. I don't know. It's like you don't know what's in your head a little or what's in the.
Oh, totally, yeah.
But I mean, there's no question the congestion was there, but it could just be Could be allergies. Could be
right.
Usually I don't get them this early, but
do you have do you check in your temperature?
I don't have a thermometer, unfortunately.
There's none. There's none in the store, so don't even fucking go try. There's none. I tried.
I won't even bother. I went jogging yesterday though, and I was like, I wonder if this is going to be awful because of shortness of breath. But then it was no problem at all. And I thought, well, this is just not that bad. It's just, I don't know what I had. I'd love to know if I had it though. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Stupid 60.
Damn
Flanders.
sexy Flanders.
My son got into The Simpsons like 3 or 4 months ago, like not long ago. And we're already on season 10.
Ever.
We just started at the beginning and we've gone straight through and now we're on season 10.
Yep.
And I keep waiting for it to get bad. Like, they finally hit this is where they've jumped the shark. And 10 is still fine.
You're still fine.
10 is still really good.
Pretty soon though, you're gonna get the dip. It's gonna dip a little.
We will, I know. I know it's coming. It's weird because there's stuff in seasons 9 and 10 that in my head are from like season 3 or something. Like I consider them like early classic bits and stuff.
That's a good sign.
Later. Yeah.
That's terrific.
I'll keep you apprised of how it goes.
Let me know.
I went
through all of this with my girlfriend's kids, not that, like last year.
What, The Simpsons?
Oh, okay.
They went through 30 seasons.
Man.
In months.
I mean, that's our goal ultimately, I guess.
I mean, they plowed through it. It was so great to see them all again, man. It was so great. Yeah.
I'm finding that I really get, he's an excellent character and he's one of the funniest characters we've ever had, but I'm getting angry at Homer Simpson. Angry about him. What a horrible, horrible husband and father.
Yeah, and that's only going to get worse,
too. What an absolute boob.
Because he was
Nobody in real life would ever last with this guy for a minute.
He was hapless in the beginning. This is one of the reasons why I think the show was a little bit better earlier. Because he was hapless, but he meant well and just didn't know any better and was just kind of dumb.
Right.
He was Walter Matthau at that point.
But later he becomes a reckless maniac.
Yeah, just an insane maniac. Yeah.
Very self-centered.
Endangering the lives of his family and the people around him, just losing his mind over nothing. Lisa's trying to do her homework and he yanks her away from it, and stuff. And so she can watch roller derby or something. It's that's bad fathering right there. I don't like it. But then he makes me look great in comparison.
Yeah, he becomes a nightmare. And then, then there's a little bit of there's a knock-on effect there. The worse he gets, the less respect you have for Marge. Because before,
right?
she was somebody who was willing to deal with this oaf because of his good heart, but she was put upon a little bit, but she just had good resolve. And then later when she's with a maniac, you're just well, this is a woman who needs to find her own life and get out.
Right.
Careful.
I would not mind if in the last if the show ever ends, the last episode should be Marge and the kids leaving Homer.
Yeah.
We've had it. This is you're a good
that would be really good.
Bananas.
That would be really good and absolutely no humor in it either. Just a very dark.
Yeah.
They just drive away and he just sits there and he pulls out a gun and blows his brains out.
The gun that he's been hiding from her since Bloodbath and Beyond.
Right.
And then and then he reverts back to that classic line, "I love you, my wife."
And
that's his last line.
Yeah, that's his last
line. He blows
line.
his brains out.
It reverts back to that early season when he was still Walter Matthau.
That's so funny.
Goodbye, my wife.
Marge. Marge, you make the best peanut butter jelly sandwiches. A lot of guys, when their wife's making peanut butter jelly sandwiches, the jelly squirts off the side, gets their hands all sticky. But not
it's a gift,
yours.
I guess.
You got a gift, I guess. Goodbye, my wife.
I guess. Goodbye, my
wife.
4 onion rings.
4 onion rings. That's season 1.
And I love Christmas so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
Christ!
All that stuff, boy.
homie.
So did I tell you? Okay, so I took my regimen up another notch.
Oh,
so
added
black coffee and
6 almonds.
No, it's not adding anything. It's not adding any nutrients. It's adding a mental program into it. Okay.
Oh.
So what I do now is
there's too much mental in this program already.
Yeah.
This program's getting mental.
Well, there's even more of it now, and I've learned to tap into some of the neurosis that's going on. So again, you just wake up and you slug coffee like there's nothing going on,
Yeah.
Slug coffee, and you supplement it with just glasses of water as well. And you chew up a few almonds, and then you get through your day and rinse, wash, and repeat, right? But now I start really tapping into those swirling negative thoughts in the brain. And that makes the time go a lot faster. So you really tap into that negative circular thinking,
They are entertaining.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very much like I have a term for it. It's like a dive bombing. Okay. So it's like you get into your airplane, right? And it's not one of these newfangled, these new age jets. It's one of those World War II propeller planes, right?
Yeah.
So you get in that thing, and it's one of those things that has a Ford engine in it. It doesn't have one of these Lockheed Martin engines. This is a Model T engine in the front. So you're feeling as you're driving steady, anyways. You're on that. You got good altitude, and you're moving. You're still feeling everything. You're feeling every bump, right? So you're pulling on that yoke to keep your that altitude steady, right? And you're working at it all day. You're thinking it all day. You're at work. You're wherever you're in the back of your head. You're like, just keep that yoke steady, right? But then something happens and you dive and you go down, like you're going down, and then you're just pulling up on that yoke, trying to get everything in. And sometimes you got to go into a different room and curl up into a ball for a few minutes. But you start getting that negative thinking, and you start pulling up on that yoke, and then you level off again, right? Right? And things are going okay. You see what I'm getting at? But then you feel somebody on your tail, and all of a sudden you're in a goddamn dogfight as well. So not only are you dealing with the ups and downs, now you got somebody on the back trying to take out your rudder.
God damn it!
Right?
Yeah.
So now you're going down. You're pulling up on that yoke, and you hear this. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you add that. You add all of that.
Weaving.
And you're in a dogfight, and you're trying to get your machine guns going. And then you add that to the 1,000 cups of coffee and the almonds, and you really got something there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before you know it.
I suppose so.
Yeah, before you know it, again, like I said, I'm getting close. I'll be able to find out just by being on this podcast with Dan. I'll be able to figure out what's going on with him. I'll read his mind.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
I'm picturing you becoming the star baby from 2001 with all this.
Yeah.
Eventually,
I'm just going to become energy, and my body's going to disappear, and I'm just going to become this light.
I might fix your microphone if you do that. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
Dan,
this microphone.
In this scenario, is Dan chasing you? Is he in the dogfight? Is he behind you?
No.
Okay.
No, it's like it's.
Get thee behind me? No.
No, it's like it's like the Red Baron behind me. All right.
Okay. You're gonna land and then go check out Dan.
Yeah, I'm doing this. No.
Dogfighting with the Red Baron.
Right. Dan is not my enemy. He's not my enemy.
Dan is Snoopy. Okay.
Dan, I'm doing this for Dan. I'm getting to a point where I can read Dan. I've known Dan long enough that he's not going to open up and tell me what's going on, right? So I'm putting myself through this rigorous training to get to the point where I don't even need to look at him. I could just look at this podcast screen that I'm looking at my computer, and I'll start to figure out what's going on with Dan. All right.
You'll see the little bumps in his sound wave there, and go, "Oh, I see.
I see what's going on.
I get it.
I see what's going on."
Dan, how do you feel about that? Do you feel exposed, in danger of being exposed?
Well, I think that Mike went to a mind reader, didn't he? A psychic or something before, so maybe he could help me, and he could pay it forward or something. All
right. You want me to talk about that? I didn't tell you, Dan, what actually happened there. Do you want me to get into it? I'll get into it.
A psychic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I went because I was. This was at. Well, this. So I went. I went around early December. I went.
Right.
And I went because I was just like, I don't know what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
It's going to get cold. You're going to get presents.
Calendar futures are up.
And what she said to me is, she said, "You're going to give more presents than you're going to receive."
Mm.
Whoa.
No. So what happened was, and this, so Tom's going to laugh his ass off. So I said, I was going through a time when I'm trying to figure out things, and I'm upset with my life. I'm starting to get kind of, self-destructive in a sense with my thinking. So I said, you know what? It can't hurt. Maybe my dad will come through and I'll figure some stuff out, and I'll actually get to talk to him again, right? a real, intelligent thing to think at this point. So I'm going to go drop down some money.
Stranger things have happened.
No, I don't think so. Just let me get.
So either. I'm just trying to be helpful.
Just let me get through this.
Yeah.
So I go, and I hope everybody appreciate this because I'm gonna lay it out on the line, and it's some wacky stuff. Okay.
Loomis style.
So I go in there. I'm sitting in the waiting room. And this woman is in. She's all over the news. She's like okay, she must be the best one, right? So I go there and I'm sitting there, and she comes out with like a college age girl. Whose friends or family are waiting for her.
The story is getting hazy. Go ahead.
Again, you're gonna fuck with my momentum.
No, of course not.
So she comes out and they're both like laughing and having a good time, and she looks at the family and she goes, "What a wonderful experience! You have such a lovely, I don't remember, his daughter or whatever. It was such a joyful experience." This is what the psychic says. So I say, I'm about to have a great experience. I'm going to leave here
crack your knuckles.
Feeling a lot better because this woman, this girl, she just had a really good experience with this woman, right? So I said, Michael, this isn't going to be so bad. Things are going to go well. So I go in there and I sit down and she goes, "So what brings you in here?" And I'm like, "That's your fucking job, isn't it?" I didn't quite say that, but that's the look I gave her.
Guy my back.
And I remember thinking, don't tell her anything. Don't tell her anything. Don't give her any leads in. So she starts in and she starts saying, she's like, "You hurt a lot of people." I'm like, "Really? Is it that obvious?" She goes, and she started just talking to me about, just that you have this, you're kind of your own worst enemy. You're kind of in a self-destructed mode. I'm like, yeah, that's all over my face.
Yeah, I'm someone who's going to a psychic.
Yeah. I'm here.
I'm not at the end of my rope in any way.
And I didn't come in here and say,
just looking for the good news for the day.
And I didn't come in here all bubbly saying, "Ooh, tell me who I'm going to fall in love with."
Yeah. No, I lost my keys. I need some help.
Yeah. Where are my fucking keys? No, I'm sitting there and she goes, and when I talk about you want to hear something fucked up, this is what I'm referring to. So I'm sitting there and I'm saying, okay, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, that's kind of how things are going. And she's telling me things that are kind of in line with what's on my face anyways. And then she stops. All right. And then she goes, "Michael, have you ever been with a man before?" I go, "What?"
Oh.
She goes, "Yes, you have." And I go, "No, I haven't." She goes, "Yes, you have." I go, "No, I haven't." And then she started telling me, she goes, "Someone hurt you when you were very little."
Oh,
and I go, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, is this part of the program? She goes, "Someone hurt you really bad and affected you. And now you're self-destructive and you don't know what to do." And what are you going to do in that situation, right? Except sit there and say, right. "What the fuck? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck am I? What is this?" And she's like, "You know it." And I go, "No, I don't know it."
Where's
she goes, "Are you in therapy for it?" I go, "Nothing happened. I don't have any memories." She goes, "It'll come to you. It'll come to you eventually."
Oh boy.
So I walked out of there just a complete. I walked out of there just a mess. And what's a what?
This is a shame on so many levels. This story. Well,
it's horrifying. And I don't know if I'm gonna have Tom delete it out or not, but it's
I was wondering that.
Mike.
Yeah, we'll see.
Listen to me.
What's that?
So I assume that you never went back to her.
No.
Or did you? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
She started telling me, she goes, "Oh, you just need your soul cleansed. Here's a woman on Long Island I know you can call and she'll help you." And I go, "What the fuck?" And I remember sitting in the car, "What the fuck?"
Oh, fucking stop!
And I go home and then she emails me. And I said, okay, now she's going to email me to kind of fucking walk me through the next steps, or like, I just fucking ripped open your chest, but here's some here's some guidance. She's like, "Oh no, here's the number to the Long Island woman. Good luck."
Wow.
I know one on Long Island will clean your pipes for half the price.
These pipes are clean.
Yeah, Tom, you know what? Delete this, please.
Oh, all right.
Come on.
All right, let me think about it.
I'll let you sit on it.
Yeah, let me sit on it.
Yeah.
Why would that, Mike? I don't want to get it. I don't want to get into this. Why would that exist? Why would that even exist?
Why would what exist?
no one can see into the that's not a real thing. They're bilking you out of money. That's all they're doing.
So, but if they were going to bilk me out of money, then they would give me something positive to leave with. It would be like, oh, you're gonna
Are you sure
you're gonna fall in love? Positive? You're gonna get a new car.
But they read you. They know what they're telling you things that they think will keep you going.
Yeah. How the hell would that keep me going?
She offered you like a quick fix, like, oh, here's this thing that I made up that happened. Yeah. Is the linchpin of all your problems. So once you work on that, you're fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Call me in the morning.
Yeah. Here's my friend Dr. Saperstein in Long Island.
He'll give you some licorice root and a proctology.
Stay away from the psychics. Okay. That's all baloney. I'm not gonna.
Is the Long Island phone number is like a 708 area code suspiciously? Is it like an Illinois number? She like holds her finger over her lip. Hello?
That's a Long Island.
I'm a different lady.
I meant Blue Island. You? Yeah.
All right. So there. Yeah. So that's that.
Talk
that
to us before you go to another psychic.
I'm done.
You need to be done.
Yeah, you've mentioned other things that you've started doing that seem much more productive and helpful.
Right. Add a couple almonds.
Besides that, have to add another almond to the routine.
I think I might go up a couple. Yeah, you're right.
What's the worst that could happen?
Now those almonds, apparently they gallons and gallons of water for every almond grown.
Yeah.
Very, very intense crop. Oh yes.
Yeah, it's a water.
Grown in California.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The almond industry uses an enormous amount of water.
I've heard that.
I don't care about it that much. I just wanted Mike to feel weird about it. And
now I feel terrible.
Devil on my shoulder.
You're a good friend.
Now I got to check the pistachio. What is it with the pistachio? Do
pistachio is good. How much water?
I think all nuts are water intensive, but I think almonds are particularly bad.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
And you
want to go that way? That's
about
fine.
700 to 1 water to wine ratio.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
700 or 800 to 1, somewhere in between there.
Good grief.
Depending. Yep. It's all right. You got to have wine. You got to have almonds.
Life is hard. Life is hard just to figure out. Even if you have no problems and you're just trying to figure out how to be a good person and do the right things, it's hard.
Yeah. But I think
a lot of math involved. A lot of
that
science.
When we go back to normal after the crisis here, I think life will seem a little bit easier. We'll have gotten some perspective on it.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like we don't learn anything. Maybe. I feel like once. What do you mean exactly? Do you think like the people aren't going to be quite as
I don't think as a society
gluttonous or grubby or
I don't think as a
maybe
society.
More people get a flu shot.
No, yeah, really. I'm saying people like us. People like us will learn something from it. Like right now I'm learning because the kids are staying at their moms. We're doing and we're both in agreement with it. Let's just keep them quarantined. And I'm still out there. I have to work, and I'm going around a lot more. They're all staying there, and today I just dropped off some stuff over there as well. And it's just I think when things get back to normal, it'll kind of shift the way that you take for granted the time you have with your kids, and also even your interactions with your ex in a sense. It changes things. It's just like you change the way that you're really interacting with people that you care about and that you love. So it's, you don't take it for granted and the little things don't bother you anymore because you went through something like this that, when you're in a crisis like this, you're together with the people that, your family. And sometimes if you're not able to, it changes the way you think about things.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Like even like in the midst of all this, I mean, we're still sort of in the beginnings of it, but I'm sitting here like already not taking as much for granted, thinking like, boy, I'm not a rich man, but I'm in a fine position right now. I can weather all this.
Yes.
I can work from home. My kid's doing fine, doing the school remotely and stuff. Everybody's healthy so far. We're good. We got a store down the street, we're in a good position to handle this, knock on wood and everything.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of people aren't, and I'm appreciating that. I'm not appreciating that they're screwed. I'm appreciating that I've got what I've got.
Exactly. And that you can help.
The guilt will come soon. The guilt will be like, oh, I didn't earn any of this. Great.
Right.
How come I got to do this?
Right.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
could see that.
I mean, that's the same thing I was thinking today is that, I'm very fortunate to fully, completely work from home. Like our team can do everything from home. And I work for an association that's not, bound by profits. So they're not going to start furloughing people anytime soon.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that it's like, okay, so I know that every 2 weeks I'm getting paid and that I can continue to help, where I can. And it puts perspective.
Sometimes it takes a life-threatening disaster to put things in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or a trip to the psychic.
Oh, sure. Or the psych ward. Something psych. Any psych.
Yeah, something
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I did break down and had some pizza the other day.
Oh,
did you?
nice. How good was it?
Scumbag.
So I went and I was hanging out with one of our Patreons, May Flores, and so what we did is I was like, okay,
I met May.
hanging out for a few, and I said, we've just put something on, and I watched one of those. It was like Chef's Table, but it wasn't. It was like one of these shows where it was all about pizza. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, it was in Brooklyn, and it was this one guy who makes the Neapolitan style pizza, and it starts with him, and you're watching him make it, and he's, rolling the dough out with a wine bottle instead of a rolling pin, and then he goes to different places and talks to these other people that make real fucking pizza, and I'm sitting there and I'm fighting it. I'm like, I had my almonds already, and I can't watch this anymore. And I said, I need to have I got to have a fucking pizza right now. So and for some reason I want Chicago deep dish. I want it right now because I can't get the Neapolitan right now. It's too far away. So I went to Lou Malnati's, called them up, and it was like, we'll bring it out to your car. Don't come in. We're in that shutdown. And I just want sauce, cheese, and garlic. Lots of garlic. Oh
yeah.
And
nice.
I ate 3 slices of it, and it was the greatest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
That sounds awesome.
Well, it was fantastic.
I have a question and a comment.
Sure.
The comment is, I recently discovered the joys of green olives on pizza. I got a pizza the other night with pepperoni, green olives, and garlic, and it was really, really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I recommend it to anybody who's of a mind to try that.
Two,
how was Lou Malnati's? Did they seem busy, like with that setup?
Yeah. So it was good. So what they did was they had in the parking lot, people are just sitting in their cars. So they pre-order them. They give them a number. They give them you give them your license plate number, and then you call them when you pull into the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
So they have somebody running it out. So they have delivery. I think they're still doing delivery, and then they can keep people employed by being there to deliver the pizzas outside to the cars.
Oh, nice. Okay, and it seemed kind of popping. It was like it
was good. It was I think the pizza places are going to stay open. I think that's going to be one of those things that people are going to just keep buying.
I would consider pizza an essential service, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely.
I think so too.
It's America,
economy,
damn it.
Yeah.
Oh. It was delicious.
Definitely.
It was absolutely delicious. And
that sounds like it.
I was like, my gosh. Oh. But yeah.
Maybe I'll do that tonight. Probably won't.
What pizza place did you get it from?
Rosati's.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, a local chain. I don't think it's a national chain.
It's a Chicago chain.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. We
like them. They got these ridiculous garlic breadsticks that we get, and we look at each other and we go, we shouldn't do this. Sam and I, we shouldn't do this. We're going to die soon. I mean, not because of coronavirus, because of having too many of these buttery, sanguine garlic sticks.
Fuck that.
But they're really, really good. They're so good.
It's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We followed up with 6 almonds, so we're good.
All right, this is what we'll do, Tom.
Yeah.
We'll set a date and go to this this Italian pizza place on Harlem called Forno Rosso, and it's real. It's Neapolitan brick oven.
Yeah.
Pizza, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry all in a row.
No, they do have they have great pizza, but they also have the Nutella pizza as well.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, that my daughter always gets. But they absolutely love it. It's like the pizza crudo with the pizza with the prosciutto ham on it, and they have tons of different kinds, but it's all just straight up Italian Neapolitan style. We'll go there. All right.
That too sounds like essential travel.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to happen for months, but.
Aw.
Yeah. And that's like what the conversation was yesterday. The conversation was while we were talking while we were eating the pizza, or the 2 days ago, was like, oh, we got to, I miss going to dim sum. I miss, this restaurant, that restaurant. And I was like, oh, fucking, there's no restaurants anymore. We're not sitting in a restaurant for the foreseeable future.
Right. And somebody had the point, I think I was reading some Times article or something about how, when stuff like this happens and people aren't spending money, when they are spending money, they go back to like, oh, I need to go get that, that computer I was going to buy, that iPad or something, or that, whatever. But they don't go, oh, I have to buy back all the food I wasn't buying for the last month. So those places are going to be kind of strapped. And that
You're
sucks.
screwed, and hopefully they'll get some, I don't know, some stimulus thing will be created for them.
Yeah, well, the Senate and the House passed it, I think. One of the big stimulus packages today, I think.
Yeah.
Did they pass it today?
The president's desk. I think so. One of them.
Well, I know they were pushing like $1,000 checks to every American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's in it, I think.
And the Democrats were saying
like 2 payments in like May or April and May or something.
Yeah. And they were even saying that it could go as high as $2,000, like 2 payments of $1,000.
Yeah. I think what's a little screwed is there's still like there's a clause in there, like a rule in there about how they're bailing out all the airlines and everything, which is kind of ridiculous. But they're also there are rules in place where like companies with under 500 employees have to now pay like a certain amount of sick days and emergency leave and stuff like that. But that doesn't apply to the huger companies like McDonald's that have like over 500 people. So it's still screwing a lot of people.
I wonder what the
that's
reasoning
frustrating
is on that. Maybe I have no problem with the airlines. I mean, there's no reason for airlines to expect that they're just going to stop having customers. It's not like not that they are treated customers that well in the first place, but
I think that's what people's beef is that they've squandered like all their, not squandered, but they've used their insane profits from the last bailout to like buy back a huge ton of their shares and just make themselves a little bit richer. And none of that has been passed on to the actual service, So I think they also want to get a lot of, rules in place for that, like how that money's going to be spent. I glanced at an article and I sound like an expert.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds.
This is what you get from the show.
Yeah, that's what you get. You don't get the real in-depth stuff. Watch that Mad Money guy.
Yeah, Kramer.
Yeah, 3 guys who watched half a thing in the background while they were playing video games.
Yeah, I wonder.
Now they pass that half information on to you.
You didn't have to go to a psychic to learn that.
No, I looked at a newspaper.
I did do the
online newspaper.
I did do the. I told you about the calling my favorite burger place.
What?
I did. I called them and bought $100 worth of future burgers.
Gift certificates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's smart.
And I guess they just run it. They run it like a check. So they're like, "Do you want to leave a tip?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Asshole.
That's funny.
$20 tip.
Wait, who am I tipping?
Yeah,
just gave you $100.
Yeah.
So what? So what did they give you? Just so you have a credit there now for $100?
Yeah, I'll have a credit for later. And
That's
I was
cool.
trying to do it at
and you go there, you're going to give them a tip.
You're from my house, but it's a cash only place. Right. They don't really do that. So it's kind of hard to work it all out.
Well,
with
they
them.
Brought that on themselves. Get into the 21st century, you guys.
I'm trying to keep you guys afloat.
Lois the Pie Queen. It's a great place.
Yeah.
Tom's wife Jody posted on Facebook that those little people have outside of their house, like those little tiny stands that like a little library that they can take a book, leave a book. Yeah, she showed that people are doing that, and they're putting canned food in there for people who who can't get to the grocery store.
That's a good
really?
idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Little toilet paper in there.
I should check out my wife's feed.
Yeah.
Barely used.
Talk to her sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
They've also
what else?
extended the remote schooling for a week already.
Yeah.
What does
It's
that
going to be
mean?
a week and then spring break, and now the week after spring break is going to be remote as
I
well.
think-
Don't tell my son to
For
freak
the
out.
kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about
I
that.
think they're. Well, if your governor, Gavin Newsom, pretty much warned everybody or prepared everybody in California saying that I would expect that, just prepare yourself that the kids are probably not going to go back to school.
Yeah.
Oh, period?
Yeah.
Wow.
He said that's probably the case, and I think think that's probably true. I mean,
yeah. I think it's
it
true
looks
for
like
all
it's
of
going
us.
to drag on for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you got
2
if you
weeks
got
sounded
people
kind of
if you got people that are
optimistic.
afraid of tyranny that are going to be meeting in the streets and this is never going to
Yeah.
end. It's just going to keep going because people are not going to stay home.
Yeah,
Right. All the spring breakers, you hear about that?
in Florida.
And all the spring break areas, like in Miami and everything.
like
They're
meetings.
just like they don't give a shit. They're just like, hey, it's spring break. What are you gonna do? It's an old people
Fucking
disease.
douchebags.
It's like those 2 guys in your Uber the
Yeah.
other night.
Well, that's
It's
when
an
the,
old people disease.
well
I'm
that's when the National Guard just puts a machine gun on the beach and just checks them off and they come out.
good. Right.
Right. Dust off that one from
mows down a beach party.
WW2.
Yeah, one of the ones with the guy's got
Up
to
on the
feed
beach.
feed the bullets in an M60,
Yeah.
an M60 or whatever the hell it is.
I'm feeding
The one that
you.
Rambo, the one that Rambo won the war with.
Oh yeah.
Tap his helmet.
Yeah. They should put those like things up on the beach, like in Normandy. Those little. What are those?
Yeah, but they're
Barricades.
pointing at the beach.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
the barricades.
Yeah.
They put them out in front of the clubs. Just fill the clubs with Germans.
I've done that years ago. Why did we wait for this?
Just foxholes full of Germans.
Deutsch bags.
We're gonna. That's terrible to say. We're gonna import some Nazis to take
but
care
it's
of this.
funny.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh God.
That's how bad it is. We had to bring in the Nazis.
Not the Neos, the real
Nazis
ones.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Somebody's gonna start making. What would the Nazis do? Bracelets.
Yeah. How
Remind you.
would the Nazis take care of this pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we know exactly how they would.
All right, we got to stop.
Anyway.
Right, yeah, we got to stop right there.
Right.
Oh.
Boy.
All right.
All right. Well, maybe
So-
that's it for tonight, everybody.
So what I think.
You wanna
Dan
hear a
and-
joke?
Dan-
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Let Dan get.
Yeah.
Let him get through it.
yeah, and
I'll just
end
get
with
right
one.
through it.
Is this a
9-year-old
Dan Lewis
couple.
special?
9-year-old couple have their anniversary. So they get a hotel room. Wife sneaks off to the bathroom, comes out. She's wearing nothing but a cape, and she goes, "Super pussy," and the husband goes, "I'll take the soup."
Is that yours or is that a Neil Hamburger joke?
Oh, I can't write jokes. I mean, that's at the hardest. That's the very hardest type of joke to write is a street joke, and a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very tough. Maybe I'll save another
Yeah.
one for next time.
Like a
I've got
Henny Youngman
an
one-liner.
influx of new
Yeah.
good ones from a comedy podcast that I've been listening to, stand-ups,
Oh,
and they have like a lightning round where
what's it called?
it's called The Good One,
Okay.
and it's a
Cool
lot of it
plug.
is just like comics discussing one joke, like the joke that
Hmm.
maybe turned their career around or maybe made them realize how they, they sort of found their voice or something. A lot of times it's like some joke that means something to them.
Right.
So it's pretty good. It's real kind of nuts and bolts stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And they have like a lightning round at the end where they go like, "Oh, if there was one joke you wish was yours, like you're the one who came up with it, which would it be?" And
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. And one of them is like, do you have a favorite joke? Do you have a favorite street joke? And so they have good taste in jokes,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you often hear good ones that way. So I could do one per episode at this point.
Yeah.
Pretty
Please
fucking
do.
good. That joke is David Spade's favorite street joke.
I'll take the soup.
Nice.
I'll take the soup.
soup.
Super pussy.
Take the soup. It's those jokes that you hear the rim shot after.
Yeah.
And Henny would have those going so fast that those rim shots would just become. Yeah, then the rim shots would just be like a drum solo after a while.
It's almost in a rhythm.
We talked about this on the Caddyshack Minute. He did them so fast that they were meaningless. Like his jokes didn't even make sense because he was just doing his greatest hits over and over and over again.
Yeah, but the drummer would just keep.
What? What do you mean?
What does that mean? Would just keep.
Oh, take my wife, comma, please? Question, what?
But the drummer would just keep those rim shots coming, and it would start to sound like a solo because he would just keep doing it.
Exactly. So had to use a double bass.
Before you know it, it's like a death metal
it's like a
song.
Neil Peart solo.
Yeah. But he starts it off slow. And
I'm just glad Neil Peart isn't around to see all this.
Oh, what we were talking about. I just want to run this by Dan. So Tom and I were saying, since we're kind of on lockdown and we're going to be home a lot, that we just start releasing these not once a week. Let's just release them as we do them. So it's more real time.
Yeah, whenever they happen.
Yeah. So tomorrow we release this one. Or you want to do tomorrow for the Patreons and then Friday for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it happens in real time. And as we record them, we put them out. There.
You like that, Dan?
I don't hear any protests, so fuck them. Let's do it.
No protest.
Yeah, that's a yes.
This is a brave new world, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do these as we can do them. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
as Mike says, we're stuck here.
We're stuck.
No friends.
I'll do one tomorrow. I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe. I can't do it tomorrow, but maybe.
Why can't you do it tomorrow?
Because I got another show to do.
Oh,
here we go. He's doing this with all the shows.
Oh. No, I'm not.
Wait a minute. Are you still doing
responsibilities for this other ongoing show?
Are you still doing the Indiana Jones Minute?
God help me, yes.
Because there can't be any more. Have you done all the Indiana Jones movies yet?
We're in the middle of the last one, Crystal Skull.
No, God.
And I bet you guys are such fucking nerds that even during this fucking world crisis, you're still just talking about the goddamn movie, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are. Yeah. On the air anyway.
That's what I mean. That's not the way we're running our lives on this. I just told a goddamn story about going to a fucking psychic and being told that I was molested.
And it didn't get cut out.
No, we're leaving it in.
Yeah.
All right.
We're leaving it in.
I just again cut myself open for all to see that I went there and some woman said that you were molested as a kid, and I have no recollection.
That's a psychic, Mike. Again, it's you got.
But why do you say that why do you say that to somebody? Huh?
Right.
All right.
Because
see what I'm getting at?
It's a fucking charlatan that you went to. That's why.
But don't you think? Don't you think that?
Guess your weight too.
Hey, sit down. 225. No.
Because I can see you're wearing after pants. They know how to size you up.
Yeah. Those pants you've had.
I think you owned those pants once before.
No, you didn't. You didn't have these. I'm getting something here. You didn't have these pants before, but the pants you had before were much larger, and now they're not. Those are before pants. You are now an after.
She sees your belts on a new notch.
Yeah.
Right.
And she said, "Be very careful, Mike, because you may be backsliding to the before pants or to the before pants."
What? How did you know?
Yeah. No. The point is, Tom, that if you want repeat customers, you give them a joyous experience, right? You don't tell them.
That's what we're doing.
You don't tell them that these things happen to you, and you don't.
65% of people who go to psychics were molested as kids.
Apparently, yeah.
That's how they know.
Depending on who you ask.
All right.
You know what Tom just did to us, Mike? You know what Tom just did to us? It's heartbreaking when you think about it. It made me upset because he's like, oh, I got to do another, because like we thought we were in special circumstances. We had a chance to get together because of these weird circumstances,
right?
And we thought it was special. It's like if I went to the neighbor and like a month from now everything's gone to hell. I went to the neighbor and I said to her, I was like, listen, I know we barely know each other, but I've always been eyeing you from afar, and I have to say it's like the end of the world. So what do you say? Roll in the hay.
Mm-hmm.
Figured I'd give it a shot because we all may be dead by the time, And she goes, all right, fine. Then we have a nice night together. And then the next day, she's like, "What do you think? Do you want to do it again tonight?" And I go, "Oh, I gotta do it with another neighbor, actually."
I'm working my way west.
I'm working the block.
Yeah,
that's what Tom just did to us. Oh, I got another podcast. Great.
No,
yeah.
Those nerds mean nothing to me. You guys, we are getting, this is a special show now. This is born of circumstance and of friendship and of the bonds between us.
Yeah.
That other thing is because there's 4 goddamn Indiana Jones movies. We have no goddamn choice.
And you sit there,
those guys.
literally,
I hate them.
the world is going to shit right in front of us, and you guys sit down and talk about the fucking movie. That to me is just blows my
the
fucking
virus
mind.
wins.
Right.
That
blows my mind. Uh-oh.
All right. Well, listen, nobody cares not for that. They're here with us, the Ditch Diggers, and we're going to be back soon. I don't know, a couple days.
The world needs Ditch Diggers too.
That's right.
What you guys do is just keep watching this space. We're going to start pumping these out randomly. This is a new world. Everybody's at home. We're not waiting a week. We're just going to get them.
Yes.
Just get them. Just get them. Just do it. Fucking do it.
I don't know where you're listening to this. You could be listening to this at caddyshackminute.com, bluesbrosminute.com, I don't know, or over at patreon.com/ditchdiggers, where if you're supporting us over there, you get this show and all of our shows a little bit early. So it's a nice bonus. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you're a fool. So please do. And also subscribe and all that. And write about how brilliant we are. Thank you. Do all that and hang around, take care of yourselves, be smart, don't be some dingling who thinks he's impervious and that he doesn't somehow have the ability to pass on a disease to other people who are more susceptible to it than he is.
Yeah.
And have a beautiful life in the meantime, and we will see you back here whenever, right here on whatever this show is called.
You scratched my anchor.